Hi guys, welcome to this Friday edition of Life Chats with Farah with yours truly. I'm so happy to be back. Today we're going to be talking about taking accountability for our problems and our actions. I was talking to one of my girlfriends about some issues that she's having with this guy that she is seeing. He is not that nice, not that great of a guy. And what I realize is that normally 99% of the time when we are faced in this type of situation and with our friend telling us this type of story, we always give responses that don't really help our friend grow and are not really constructive. We always answer saying, oh, he is such an ass, you deserve so much better, you can do so much better. But I've come to realize that that is not constructive. We are not helping our friend, we are enabling them. So this discussion that me and my friend were having, I told her, this is not about him. You have a choice. You have a choice to engage in this behavior or not to engage in this behavior. And I've realized that we are all fearful to take on responsibility. So we always find others to blame. And by this, I don't mean that he is a good guy or even that he treats her well. I just mean that at the end of the day, she has a choice to engage in that behavior or not. So let me break it down for you. If you realize that every problem you have starts with you, you can take steps to better yourself instead of trying to change others. Because let me tell you, you can't change everybody else. I think that's one of our biggest flaws, thinking that we can change others. So we focus all of our energy there instead of focusing it to better ourselves. And to what result? Instead, wouldn't we be so much better off if we focused all of that energy, all of that frustration into helping ourselves to to emerge from a situation a stronger and better person, a person who's able to walk away from a situation that doesn't serve their happiness or that doesn't serve their inner peace. But we don't. And we don't because our ego is hurt. And appeasing your ego for me is the same thing as filling our bodies with negativity and with toxicity. You end up being emotionally sick, mentally sick, and even physically ill. And I often talk about ego, and ego for me is synonymous with pride. It's that voice in your head that's always looking for somebody else to blame. It's that voice in your head that tells you that there is no solution to your problems. But that is so wrong, and that's so hurtful. You can challenge your ego by questioning your reactions and by focusing on yourself instead of focusing on others. But this doesn't mean that the other person is void of responsibility. It just means that they are not your responsibility. You see what I did there? Doesn't that make so much sense? You can't control how others react, but you can control how you choose to deal with that reaction or how you choose to confront that reaction. You can't control how somebody else acts, but you can control the degree to which you decide to interact with that person or to even engage with that person. I actually know somebody who's quite close to me that has possibly one of the biggest egos. And I don't mean by this that they are conceited or that they are cocky. What I mean by this is that they are always looking elsewhere to lay blame. They refuse to acknowledge or to take any responsibility. And then they wonder why they keep meeting the same types of people. They give them the same types of problems. But you know what? It's because they're refusing to look internally for answers. So life will keep throwing at them these people to tell them, you know what? You need to get your shit together. You need to figure it out. You need to understand where you are the common denominator. And you need to understand that you have control over your well-being. Yeah, I'm not asking you to take blame. I don't think that blame is constructive. I'm just asking you to focus on yourselves. This is constructive. We can't change others, but we can change ourselves and our situations in order to live the life that we want and the life that we deserve. I mean, people react how they're gonna react. And they react how they react for many reasons, often which have nothing to do with you. And those people have reasons to react how they're going to react. That's their journey. It's not your journey. And I read this quote that says, you don't fix problems. You fix your thinking, and then problems fix themselves. So sit on that for a minute. I think that if we are not acknowledging our own responsibility, it's so sad, because that's the same thing as telling the universe that we have no control over our own lives. And that's not true. We control our reactions. So if you're faced in a situation where you are not happy, ask yourself, what is hurting? Why am I hurting? Is it my ego? And if it's your ego that's hurting, toss it out. Shoot it away. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. You are not helping yourself grow by appeasing your ego. You need to understand why you're reacting the way that you're reacting and change that. So yeah, sit on that, digest it, try to understand it. It's not easy. And half the time when we talk about ego, for the first 100 times, we will deny it. We will think that we're doing what we need to do and that the other person is completely responsible for the problem. It's not true. It's not how it works. I mean, the other person might not be great, might not even be a nice person, but they're fulfilling their own journey. It's your job to fulfill your own journey. So sit on that. Yeah, understand it. All right, guys. I hope you have a good weekend and that gave you something to think about. Once again, we're all growing together. Bye, guys, forever and always.